Hola chicos, Katie here in the Academy, and I just want to really quickly run through today's Spanish paper for 2021 with you guys. As you can probably tell from the smile on my face, I'm chuffed with it, and from what I've heard from my students, the majority of those are as well, so hopefully all of you guys agree with me. But let's really quickly just run through it. So section A, I'm not going to run through the prescribed literature comprehension because I haven't done it and the majority of students won't have done it either. But we know that our section A is now just our journalistic text and one of our two short comprehensions. For those of you that decided to do both short comprehensions, that's absolutely fine. You will get your marks for the one that you did better in. Okay, journalistic text really quickly, so easy. From what I've been told and from what I've seen, I don't think there was anything majorly challenging in it. I think a lot of the vocab in it would have been very approachable for the majority of students. So like we've got stuff about PE in school, so if you've prepped health or exercise, physical exercise, all that kind of stuff for your opinion piece, a lot of that would have appeared in this comprehension, and obviously all of the vocab about school would have been really familiar to you from prepping for your oral exam. What I do want to run through really quickly is for question 4, where we see a lot of students kind of get a little bit freaked out and start doing weird things like translating these into English. Question 4, again, you're just picking one of those two sentences and giving the examiner another way of saying that in Spanish. So for 4A, where it says tiene poca importancia, that means has little importance. So the answer that I've just written here is no es muy importante, that it isn't very important. And question 4B then is a little bit more tricky, and it says las estadísticas, I can't say this word, las estadísticas, am I joking? Anyway, right, the statistics, I can't even say it in English, indicate, los datos muestran, or la información muestra, could have been your answer for that. So the statistics indicate. So I've said the data shows, or the information shows. Okay, question 2, I said that I thought one of the short comprehensions was going to be about climate change, and we have something here about deforestation and bees. The title for question 2A, for those of you that freaked out about it, just means the bee is declared the most important living being of the planet. Again, nothing majorly difficult there. And then question 2B, because apparently Ireland is obsessed with cyclists and cycle lanes, I'm not. It says Ireland invests 5 million in mountain biking. And again, I don't think there was anything majorly difficult in it from what I've seen really quick. Okay, section B then, our comprehension was stunning. We absolutely loved her. She was a great gal. It is talking all about volunteers, which again, I know everyone probably opened that and was like, are you joking? But the comprehension itself was fine. So I would just say for question 2, where we have our translations, I would say from 2012 to now, these would appear to be the easiest translations we've seen. The answers for them are, so 2A was just doing small things, it's possible to change the world. So you could also say it's possible to change the world by doing small things or little things, whatever. And then B is ayudar con la construcción de viviendas en barrios pobres. So to help or helping with the construction of houses in small towns. And then, or you could say small villages if you wanted to. And then la gente que tiene demasiado tiempo disponible. The answer I've written here is the people that have too much time available or too much free time. Okay, then our opinion piece titles. I'm probably as annoyed as you guys are that the extra title that was given to us for the purpose of giving us more scope or more options was basically the same as the first one, so thank you so much. But we've got question 5A is the world needs volunteers. Again, this is them trying to kind of link it into the pandemic a little bit. You could talk about how we needed volunteers to help people through the difficult time of the pandemic. You could talk about it in general. You could talk about all of the like major world issues that have happened during the year and spoken about people going, like say for argument's sake, that the COVID crisis in India, that there were so many people going over to volunteer there, that kind of thing. You could tweak it to whatever you wanted to. Same thing with question B, it's important to help people. I would imagine the majority of my students probably chose that one and spoke about how important it is to help other people when they're struggling with their mental health, because I have that drilled into them anyway. Question C then was being a volunteer is a fantastic experience, and I would imagine that that one was given to you for those of you that maybe struggle a lot with Spanish, that is probably the easiest one to understand because so many of the words are nearly the exact same as English. But yeah, I'm annoyed about question C as well, so I can imagine the majority of you guys are, so we're not going to give her any more time of our lives. We're going to move on. Okay, last section then, section C. Dialogue construction I think was really nice. I would imagine, just to run through the things that they're going to kind of be looking for in each point. First one, They're checking to see, do you know the structure acabo de, for to have just done something, and do you know that you should be using the word por when you're talking about for and time. Okay, part 2 then, they're checking, do you know the structure pasar for the verb to spend time. And then part 3, they're checking, do you know the verb to improve is mejorar, because a lot of students just like to make up their own verb, improver, which is cool. And then they're also checking, do you know to use the verb conocer when you're talking about knowing a person. Okay, part 4 then, they're checking who knows the structure of the perfect tense, so mis amigos han ido for they have gone. And also, do you know that the word climate in Spanish is masculine, even though it ends in an A, because it ends in MA for man, so it's a masculine noun. Okay, part 5, again, we see this every year, that they're going to test you on verbs that follow the same pattern as gustar. So we've got 2 conjugations of the verb encantar. And also, do you know that when we're saying it's famous for its tapas, we're going to use the word por there, because we're saying it's famous because of its tapas. And then the last point, do you know the structure tener ganas de, for to be looking forward to. And then moving on to the other option. Now, I don't cover the formal letter, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I would think that this is a stunning question for those of you that are used to doing the formal letter, because it's all about mobile phones and online learning, all that kind of stuff. We're all obsessed with our phones and TikTok apparently, so let's go crack. And then question 2, the way that this is higher level, Leaving Cert Spanish is a joke, but anyway, so I just think that these are the nicest questions you could imagine for both of them, so the diary entry and the note. The only thing I'm curious to see about both of these, because first of all, they're so easy, like in terms of they're not asking for anything majorly difficult. There's no sign of the subjunctive, it's just past, present and future or near future. But I am curious to see how they are going to divide 25 marks between 4 points. Why? Okay, so I was under the impression they were going to give 5 sets of 5 marks for this. But apparently they still only want you to write 4 things, which is weird, because the dialogue construction is going to share the same marking scheme, and that's between 5 sections. But anyway, maybe they'll do 6 sets of 4 marks and then 1 mark for a layout or something, but I would imagine that that should have said 5 points. But yeah, so we'll see about that. And for those of you that are finished today, well done on surviving a pandemic and also going through senior cycle during the pandemic, and go and enjoy your summer. And let me know what you thought of the exam, either here or on my Instagram. Okay, adios.